Hello, Watch It Chat here with your reminder that life is short. Buy the watch. Today we're talking all things watch storage, and that is a home for your watch for collections of all sizes. We'll start by looking at some travel options that I've received over time for single watches. This is a single watch pouch, and to be honest, I don't really like this arrangement. It's basically throw your watch in and let it sit there and probably cop a bit of damage. I actually don't think that's a very good case. So when it comes in this size or shape, just throw it away. Here's a second style of watch case, which is much better than the first. It's still a travel case, but the good thing about it is that you have this separation there. So that allows for the watch to be placed in and gives you a bit of a separation there to protect the back, and then you stick it in the case, and there's a bit of thickness to it, which is good, and a bit of structural integrity to this leather, so that is a significantly better one than the first option. Now we have a look at a long style of case. This is actually pretty handy. And look, I got all these pretty free. So next time you buy a watch, make sure you ask for a free watch case, because more often than not, they'll give it to you. I find these long ones are exceptionally good for dress watches, which are on the strap, such as this Vacheron I've got here. So it won't be as rough with this one, but these sit really well inside. Though, having said that, just be careful because they are very bendy. So it'll be a nice place to put your watch to bed, but it won't be a very good place to store it for safety. If you want something a little bit more robust than a single watch collection, you tend to get these boxes with it. In fact, if you actually take this to Amiga and get your watch serviced or something, even I actually put a warranty claim in one of them. Turns out I just didn't wind the watch properly, and they return it in this case. So if you want a freebie one of these, that's quite easy to get. Problem is the cushions on these are pretty cheap and nasty. The box does offer a lot more protection though, so I actually don't mind these little travel packs, and they're really handy to sort of use at home. I don't know how I got this one. This is a Breitling case. I guess someone just lent it to me. I don't even have a Breitling watch. So the cushion's a little bit better, but it's a bit flimsy. So, however, it does provide a lot more protection. You can see that there's a great height between the cushion and the top. I suppose the problem with that is you're just going to be careful that if it moves around a lot, then it could move around a lot in the actual case. This is a 2-watch case I got from Grand Seiko, also a gift. So look, you can see these are all gifts so far, and this is a really good one. It's a solid case, and basically the watch sits in like this, I think. It's got this strap here to help separation. It's actually even got a clip there if you want to use, it's even got the elastic band there if you want to use that to hold it in. I normally just do it this way. 2-watch case, travel pack, really solid. I've used this before in my travels. Really good case. Now we move to a 3-watch case, which is a watch roll. I'm going to put this watch elsewhere. It's throwing things around a little bit. So yes, this is a 3-watch roll, and it's a pretty good one, and it's got this material, but you've just got to be careful. Even though it's a wolf, which is considered really good quality, if you look closely you can actually see scratching against this material. The material's not very soft at all. It's actually quite rough. So you can see that I've used my ceramic watches and a bit more robust watches in here. In fact, if I was to go to watch roll, I would actually not recommend this one. This is purely because it's not, it offers protection, but I think it's probably more prone to scratching. I'd go with this case. You can see the pushing up against that as well, so just gotta be careful. The watches do push up against this material, but this is significantly softer. So whilst there might be some scratching occurring, I don't think it'll be anywhere near as much as the other one. Hence, I have used this case for sort of some of the more prized pieces. Cool. So now we go to watch boxes. Now, this is a Wolf watch box, and it's leather. If I look at it, probably need to zoom out a little bit. It's not a bad case, but you can actually see that it's actually scratched up really easily. I was actually thinking that this would be better quality than it actually was. Like, I was expecting to buy a lot, but get a lot for my money, but if you look closely, you can see it's all scratched up and sort of dinged. It's almost like it's just some cheap kind of cardboard wrapped in sort of a thin layer of leather. It does have this little slot to help your watches breathe. God forbid that they suffocate. But I think the one good thing about this one is the cushions hold their integrity really well. It comes in a variety of sizes. So see, this has been used a bit, and probably 2 years now, and the cushions are still quite soft. So that is a really good watch box in terms of the cushions, but the box itself isn't performing as well as I hoped it would. Now, the one thing that's good about it though is that you can get them discounted. I got about $200 off that one. But this watch box, which is also a Wolf, I would highly recommend. Significantly better. The construct just seems better. There's a bit more integrity here. It's not as damaged as the other one, but you can see in some bits, such as see that corner there, the pixel zoom, it is coming apart, even though it doesn't really cop much trouble. It just sits there. So just be careful when you're looking at these watch boxes. But the really good thing about this one is that it's got this soft close goodness. So if you're into a watch box and you're after a Wolf, I'd highly recommend this style of watch box rather than that previous one I showed. I'm not into watch winders yet, so I kind of think that watch winders are really bulky. They seem to be massive, square, bulky boxes that don't really seem to... I think they take too much space, essentially. However, that's my quick fire watch box check. And look, those Wolf ones come in sizes of 3 to... I think maybe even 12, but I've got a 10 size box. And I think they come in even bigger ones than that. But, you know, it starts to get a bit ridiculous when the box starts taking up so much space. So anyway, that is my quick fire box storage or watch storage review. And if you like that video, please click like and subscribe. And remember, life's short, buy the watch.